Hey there, Mickey Barfield with the Polyhedral Knights. Today we're going to give you an update on Southern Gothic. So, we are due to be out now, but we're not. I apologize, and I'm sure anybody who's spent any time following any company saying when they're going to do something as far as timeline, expect a little delay. Mostly because there's moving parts in here, and if one thing gets held up, another thing gets held up because you're waiting for that other one to get finished. You can do the math from there. So, long story short is, yeah, holidays, yeah, family stuff. Sorry about that. It's just life gets in the way. The good news is I didn't stop writing, kept writing. In fact, actually, I put more in, which is a good thing, you know. Just, it's like, oh, I need to add this. Oh, I need to put more of this. I need to... Yeah, you did math. Because originally, when I first made this game, it was a... These glasses are going to drive me absolutely flippin' insane. The new ones are coming today. Anyways, so when I first did Southern Gothic, the magic, was there. It wasn't like huge amount. It was kind of more low scale. But I felt I didn't have enough options, and I like to have options. I like my players to have options. So, that being said. So today, I'm going to tell you about some of those options. Now, I won't go into detail about them. I'll break them down as far as the categories. So at least that way you know, okay, I could expect this. Now, keep in mind, Southern Gothic takes place 2 years after the Civil War ended. And during the Civil War, that's when a lot of demons were out making deals with people and, offering, hey, you want to see your loved one come back home? Here, just sign this deal and we'll bring them home. Of course, not reading the fine print and not realizing that there's that mixed blessing type thing. But aside from that, even before then, there's been long histories of supernatural things and families who are, of course, supernaturally involved in usually either protecting people, the innocents, or aiding these assholes. So, that being said, we're going to go over some of the magic that you can expect to see in this game, okay? So, and you'll see me looking at my screen a lot because it's early and I'm still working on my coffee. So, alright, so one of the things is alchemy. So that will cover that. So if people want to have a certain talent, or it might be a certain part of their bloodline that has some sort of association with that, they can take that where they can actually have access to potions, creating them, that type of thing. Some really cool stuff there. Blessings. Okay, so blessings is kind of a link to your either miracles of faith or voodoo practitioners. And they're just certain buffs or certain things that people can get. It's kind of more small scale, but there's that option there, okay? Now keep in mind, some of these things I'm going to list off here are more minor, some are more major. I'm not going to list it here because it would be a long video. I'm sure you got better things to do, like rearrange your sock drawer. So, there's also enchanting. Now that one can be linked towards the voodoo practitioner or the warlock practitioner. So, making certain items there and list what things you can make and stuff like that. And of course, as always, as a GM, you can make up your own shit if you want to. Okay, so then of course there's the Loas. You have your minor Loas and your major Loas. Obviously, you can tell which one's more prevalent, which one's more minor. So kind of in the title there. So miracles of faith. These are things that your holy people will have. And there goes the glasses again. Dang it, I can't get them replaced fast enough. Miracles of faith. These are things from on high that bless the person and help them help people. Petty magic. This is your kind of, for lack of a better term, cantrips. Little minor magic things that people can do. And pretty helpful, but not earth-shattering. So, of course, and there's the voodoo, like I said, the Loas, we talked about that before. Warlock magic, so those spells that the person can learn. Now, you're not going to have some long list of spells, so you're going to start off pretty one-shot wonder, maybe two, but you're going to have to earn it and build through experience. So it's a very low-scale game. You want to keep that horrific and not turn it into a super-powered game. There's not magic. Now, I'm not sure if really people know about that. This is an old witch thing where they're using strings or ropes and tying knots and certain rituals to create certain effects. We're going to have that in here. Okay. Angelic words. These are things that have been taught by an angel on certain words, how to say them, and a certain hand gesture, and it can activate a certain power. Holy relics, of course. These are more of items that you can come across or been gifted to you that can help out. Let's see. And then finally, Anunnaki items. Now, the Anunnaki, some believe they were angelic, some believe they were actually aliens. So, depends on how you want to spin it in your game for this. You can. But either way, these are gifts from the sky, or gifts from the sky people type thing. And these are certain items that can do certain abilities. So, very hard to find, very rare, so they're not really exactly common. Okay, so we have that option. So that's the bulk of what we're going to have in this game here. Hopefully that answers some questions. If you have any more questions about that, please comment or write to me. I'd be happy to hear from you. And I will try and be more diligent as far as getting updates to you guys. So keep a lookout either on Patreon. If you're not a member, check it out, Mickey Barfield, or on YouTube, Mickey Barfield. Wow. Didn't really sound narcissistic. I swear it's not that, but the people that are helping me try and get this done, they are pushing me to brand myself and use my name more often, even though it makes me feel a little weird. So, and if you ever met me at a convention and asked for a book signing, I'm usually feel funny about that because I suffer imposter syndrome. So, anyways, hopefully this helps out. Hopefully this stokes those fires some, and those sections are done already, by the way. Yay! So this means the rest of it's going to be coming along very soon, so keep an eye out. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm aiming at finishing this, at least as far as the writing part, completely in 2 weeks. And I've been going full steam ahead. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm done with this video, going back to writing that. So, and I have nothing on the slate today but writing and taking care of my family members. So, anyways, hope you guys are staying warm. I know it's cold out there. At least it is here in Florida. Nowhere compared to what you guys are up to up north, where you have that weird thing called snow. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. So, anyways, stay warm, stay dry, stay safe, and thanks again for your support. Have a good day.